How do you add any two digits to two digits? We'll move right along the faB continuum and we're going to solve these in our brain only. Right, we start off by turning it into two questions and solving those in our head. Now this graphic here shows you what you should be thinking. So when I do these, start the question and I think 4 tens plus 8 tens, 12 tens, 120. I hold that 120 in my head and I look at the second part of the question. So 3 ones plus 8 ones, 11 ones, 11 ones. I then bring back the 120, so I've got 120 and 11 in my head. Right, I'm going to add these together now. Now, adding these together, it feels more like topping up the tens, so it's like 12 tens plus 1 10 equals 13 tens, or 120 plus 10 equals 130. Then I add the 1, so 130, 131. Now remember, this number here, this units number here, cannot be any bigger than 18, because the biggest possible one digit plus one digit is 9 plus 9 equals 18, so it's never going to be bigger than 18, so you're always going to be topping up these number of tens by 1 only. So adding that together in my head, 120 plus 10, 130, plus 1 equals 131, and then we just write down the answer. Here's our first set of practice questions. These are the mild rated ones, so the easy ones. With these ones, the tens part adds up to 100 or greater, and the ones part is never bigger than 9. These are your remember to, so turn it into two questions in your head and solve them in your head. So I'm looking at this, I'm going 40 plus 80, 120, keep that in my head, stored in my head. I like to repeat that a few times, so 120, 120, 120. Then I'm thinking 3 ones plus 8 ones is 11, so the 120 in my head, I bring in the 11, so I'm now thinking 120 plus 11, so this is where I add the mini answers together. Again, it's just like topping up, so 12 tens plus 1 10 equals 13 tens, or 130, because we know that this one's answer can never be bigger than 18, so 120, 130, 131, and then we just write down the answer. Again, I recommend that you do at least 5 of those, and these are the brain only answers on our faB continuum. Now we're on to the hot rated questions. With these ones, the ones part of the question is always 10 or greater, and the tens part of the question is never bigger than 90. These are your remember to, so follow these. This is what you should be thinking in your head. Again, turn it into two questions in your head. I like to start at the two two-digit numbers. I'm thinking 40 plus 80, 4 tens plus 8 tens, 120. 120, keep that in my head, keep repeating it, 120, 120. Then I'm thinking 3 ones plus 8 ones equals 11. I bring back that 120, 120 plus 11, so I add those together in my head. 120 plus 11 equals 131. And then finally, the spicy questions. So these are as hard as it gets, where both the tens are equal to 100 or greater, and the ones are equal to 10 or more. These are your remember twos that you need to do to be successful, and this is what the thought process should look like in your head. So again, turn it into two questions in your head and solve them in your head. So you're thinking, add the tens, 4 plus 8, 12, 12 tens, 120, 120, 120. 3 plus 8 equals 11, 11, so 120, bring that back again, 120 plus 11. It's like topping up the tens, so 120, 130, plus the 1, 131, and then we just write down our answer. Again, I would recommend practice by doing at least 5 of these, and that's as hard as it gets. And that's the the brain only solving 2 digits plus 2 digits. Enjoy.